And Denise joins us now. Thank you so much. This must have been a very emotional encounter for you.
It was just so weird. It's the very first time I've interviewed anyone before, never mind, you know, with a case similar to my own. I felt so sorry for the man that I was interviewing, the things that he was saying. It just took me right back to when James went missing. It was just so unreal.
Just to remind people who are watching, in the case of this little girl, this happened in April, and she was snatched by two girls, aged 13 and 14. They had previously shoplifted dummies, baby milk and a bottle, and then lured this little girl away from her mum, and then took her 3 miles away on the metro, and then police tracked them down very swiftly. Yeah. And that's the difference in this case, isn't it?
That is the difference, and that I mean, everyone says we're living in a society of Big Brother, but thank God that we are. Only for the CCTV, God knows, you know, they probably would have got away with what they were planning, and you know, it's just horrible to think that, you know, two girls at that age again can go on to commit a crime like that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, sorry, just going to say the judge in the case said although the child came to no actual harm, there had been intent, planning and enticement. Sorry, Piers.
Well, God knows only, you know, what they were planning on doing with that little girl, but thank God she was found when she was, and she was returned to her parents safe and sound.
What is it, do you think, that makes young people do this kind of heinous thing? Both what happened to your little boy and now this little girl.
I've been asking myself that question for over 23 years now, and I really haven't got the answer to that. Are they bored? You know, but I mean, even if a child's bored, they find a game to play with, or they go and knock at a friend's door to play with a friend, but certainly not take another child and do harm to it. I just don't know what goes through their minds.
It just seems so extraordinary that two young teenage girls would plan this kind of heinous act, and nobody seems to be able to rationalise why they would do this. I mean, do you think some people are just plain evil? Well,
I believe that Thompson and Venables were pure evil, yeah, and, you know, I've never met these girls, and, you know, I don't want to, but, you know, if they're thinking that on that level, then they must be thinking evil things.
Denise, everybody's heart broke when they found out what had happened to your little boy, and it's 23 years ago now. How do you cope every day?
Well, I've got 3 more boys at home. I've got a loving husband, and, you know, I've got to cope. If there's a fight to be for James, then I'll always do it. I've always said that. There's nothing else I can do for him other than fight his corner. I'm basically James's voice, because he hasn't got one of his own anymore.
Do you ever get over this kind of thing? I mean, it's a reality that you just learn to deal with it, but you never
get over it. I mean, James is constantly in my mind. I think about him every single day. I talk about him like he's still here to me boys. My boys feel like they know him. But no, it's something that you never get over. You just have to learn to live with.
When you was talking to the father of this little girl, what did that make you feel?
I felt his pain. I seen his emotions in his face, and I felt his pain, and, you know, it took me back to 23 years ago and the pain that I felt. It was just so unreal, and I just thought, thank God you got your little girl back safe and sound. That's all that I was thinking, and at the end of the interview I did say that to him. I just wanted to put my arms around him and give him a big hug and tell him that, you know, you can't always keep your eye on your child 24 hours a day. You have got to look away from them, and any parent who says different, you know, they must be a miracle worker, because every parent takes their eyes off their child, even for a split second.
Heartbreaking.
It is.
Thank you so much for coming in today.
Can I just say, I do want to bring something out to help protect kids in a further way, a safety device when they're out in a public place. So I'm looking into doing that now, and if anyone out there can help me do that, then I'll be more grateful.
Okay, great. Well, you've had your say. Hopefully somebody out there will be able to help you, and we can all just work together to try and make sure this doesn't happen. It is a very rare occurrence. We've got to keep saying that. But, you know, on this occasion, it looks like the CCTV footage, the ability of social media, the police, the speed they moved, were able to find this girl before it was too late. And thank God for that. And well done to the police, who get a lot of criticism, but on this occasion did a brilliant job.
I'm just so glad that she was returned safe and sound.
Absolutely. Denise, thank you so much for
No,
coming in.
thanks for having me.